your friend, you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray.
Tons of gold crypto investing, and a quick update here. You can see in the Bitcoin price, we're coming up to this volume area that the range we were in over the weekend, in this white support area. You can see we got it lined up with our volume indicator from the last dump to try to give us a leg up on the way back up in this consolidation area. And you can see we're getting resisted by it right now. Just like we were getting resistance back there, all this resistance, see this? This is all resistance, resistance, resistance. We'll bring our pointer tool out. Resistance, 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 and on the bottom side, support, 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 little resistance, then bam, right? Then you came up and you hit your major upper resistance, what we were talking about the other day, as if you could breach that, your next leg up would be 34,000. But as is usually the case, you got to come down first. If you are to continue up, you breach the blue ring, the blue fib circle, and the orange fib circle, right? Those have been major support and resistance. It was acting as resistance, 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 and then resistance. Came back down to it, couldn't hold it as support, and now it's back underneath even the orange ring, which is holding it as brief resistance. But the next move up is probably on the breakout. If it breaks up, would be your blue ring again at 31,000. So if you break up from your current price, you could do something like that to get rejected, come back down, try to hold it as support, and then kick back up and try to work your way up here, and then maybe even up here. But if you work your way up here in this kind of fashion and start doing this, that starts to look like a local double top, right? So we got to pay attention to see what's going on here. If this is just a bearish consolidation right here, is what you got to watch out for. Your targeted move to the downside is pretty far down. You can see a targeted move would bring you all the way back down near a regional low. See that? Right back there to that $27,000 range, right? So that's what we're watching out on a breakdown if this is a bearish continuation pattern. So right now you got your support that you're sitting on, the major volume area is underneath support. Your brief support's at 29,000. Your overhead resistance, your first one is at 30,700, and then 31,165. And then above that, the next level is 32,000. So you got multiple areas of support from two fib circles, right? And then your overhead resistance with the volume indicator trying to work your way up through the fib circles. So that's what we got going on the way down. You got your underneath support of 29,000, 29,062, right? And then if you break that, an underneath targeted move would be 27,500. So that's what we're looking at. Your short term, if we zoom in from the 3 hour to the hour time frame, you're up against upper resistance at 30,270, right? If you can fire through that, you can make a move up to where the 50-day moving average in red's descending up here. See that? 50 days descending, 100 days moving up. We're trying to get across of the two, and the price on a breakup could run right up into here, and they both line up at a nice spot right at this support, the horizontal overhead resistance, right, that it's going to act as on its way up. And then if you break down, your first area for buyers to come in is 29,000, right? And 0.94. Luna continues to fall, but it is trading within a channel now. Ethereum broke down. See that? It had a nice run up like Bitcoin, but then it broke the uptrend and essentially fell to the floor. Now it's going to try to get support at the $17,000 range with its major overhead resistance, this double top at 20,023. Cardano, you can see pumped into that area like we thought it would. Now it's getting rejected out of the last line of defense, and on its way back up, what I'd be looking for is your first overhead resistance is obviously the bottom part of this orange support zone, because it's going to act as major resistance like it did right there on the way back up. So 62 cents is your first major upper resistance. Then if you can work your way up, you can try to take out the old high of 69 and then come up to the top part of this orange support area. If you get a breakdown and fold below the 200-day moving average, your first underneath low is the cycle low bottom of 44 cents, and then an ultimate flush would be 32 cents in the last line of defense. If you're trying to break up, you got to use this as a consolidation, and then you could say from the bottom of the move to the top to the consolidation, you could be looking at something like 80 cents, right? So that's what we're going to watch out for there in Cardano, and then everyone's favorite XRP on the way out. You can see it's back testing what we had as major upper resistance after the flush in a localized area. Just like Bitcoin, resistance, 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 breakout. Now this is back testing it like Ethereum is, and it's trying to hold it. If it can't hold this area, you're coming back down to this underneath white support line at 37 cents, like it was here, 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 and back blah, right? And then a complete breakdown would bring you back to a cycle low of 33 cents is your major underneath support if you can't hold these two areas, right? And on a break up, your first area of overhead resistance is 48 cents, and then your major overhead resistance where all the heavy sell pressure is at 60 cents, right? So you got 48 and 60 on the upside, and you got your current price, which you're sitting at and trying to bounce off of as we zoom in right here. You see that, how you're trying to zoom in there? See that? Or as we zoom in, you're trying to bounce. If you can't hold that, this is where you fall down to this level, and then you trade into here briefly, and either A, try to break up, or B, break down, right? So that's what we're looking at in XRP, and in the market. We'll keep you updated a little bit later on, bringing some stock market tips in from the stock market. Like, subscribe, and share. Lots of plays about to be happening. Peace and love. We'll set it up for y'all.